Number 7. Stop saying I love you first. The smart sound of silence. I'll keep this relatively short. No guy, after having been told I love you by a woman whom he's never told the same, has ever said or thought to say in response, I'm so glad you said that because it just reminded me that I love you too, followed by a passionate embrace and equally passionate kiss. It's creepy. And I promise you'll feel like a jackass afterwards, especially since he won't say it back. Yes, that's right. He's not about to follow your lead. He knows that he should be the one to say it first, to feel it first, and to let it be known, if applicable. If he indeed loves you but hadn't yet told you, you just stole his thunder. On the flip side, if such a pledge is made too soon, and if you just couldn't help yourself after 30 hot calendar days of kissing on him, he'll know it's much too heavy of a declaration to be made so hastily. You're not helping him to come around to loving you in return. You're not speeding up his heart-softening process. By the contrary, you've just pulled his emotional emergency brake. He's burning rubber until he's finally riding on rims. Those aren't the kind of sparks that you want flying. On top of not needing a reminder or nudge, a man just simply doesn't need you telling him something so awkward. Like inappropriate complimenting, it makes his sausage shrink. You may as well say it in the burliest, bass-containing voice possible, because that's how it sounds by the time it gets to his unexpectant ears. You'll sound like Bubba in the top bunk, saying it, minus the sideburns and gold tooth. Upon hearing your emotional pledge, that man in your life instantly breaks out into a cold sweat. Imagine, just moments before, his heart pounding with joy as his arm is draped around you. The two of you are having a great time. Maybe you're at the Rays game at Tropicana Field. Maybe you're checking out your favorite comedian at the Improv. Or maybe you're just staring up at a mirror in the ceiling in his one-bedroom condo, naked from the waist down. Wherever you are, no matter the setting, you telling a guy who has never told you that you love him will bring all joy, all relaxation, all comfort to a screeching halt. It is the pre-relationship kiss of death. Now he thinks you're weak, you're silly, you're weird. He thinks you're not as high quality as he had originally believed. He could be wrong about it all, of course, but it's what he'll think. He'll believe that you don't have much self-esteem, integrity, or even just the good sense God gave a gecko as he initially had given you credit for. The next phase of his trauma, coming milliseconds after his mental demotion of your dateability rating, is that he'll instantly become claustrophobic in your presence. The moment the surprise words, I love you, free fall from your mouth, 150 square feet of living space falls off the room you're sharing with him, 300 if you followed it up with a kiss on the cheek, 700 if you looked into his eyes when you said it. That luxury-sized living room of his just turned into the most microscopic studio apartment he's ever had the misfortune of occupying. And that nice, comfy king-size bed the two of you are sharing suddenly feels like his childhood twin bed at his mommy and daddy's house, the one with the Nerf basketball hoop over the headboard. And you, my dear, suddenly feel like his old St. Bernard Brutus, taking up 80% of the mattress, breathing big dog breath into his nostrils. He longs for some fresh air, for you to give him some elbow room, preferably from your own apartment, several miles away. This illustration of confinement doesn't even begin to describe the feeling that overcomes a man when you give in to the moment and carelessly, because it is careless, blurt out something so inappropriate and ill-timed. Its creepiness factor is right up there with me crying after sex. I can blame it on the margaritas all I want, but I can never take it back. And he can never unwitness it. My point? We've all had our crappy, sappy moments. Just don't do it again. Zip those lips. The only time you should ever tell a man who is not related to you that you love him is when those words are immediately preceded by, "Aw," and more immediately followed by, "too." Let's practice. "Aw, I love you too." Perfect.